Hey, okay, so here's the next part, starting with Franklin knows. Until we have a name sign for Franklin, we'll just do F like this. Hopefully that won't get too much of a muscle memory for you, but we'll decide that when the deaf casts come together. So Franklin knows. And then Sarah says, how? You say, I don't know, someone must have told him. I don't know, you could do arms up like this, I don't know, or you can sign the sign for no and then flip it out. Don't know. I don't know, someone must have told him. So we don't need to sign the must because it doesn't really make sense. So someone, and then told comes from your throat and goes forward like it's coming out of your mouth to that person. So someone must have told him. Let me move the page. Sarah says who? You say Oren maybe. So again, O for right now for Oren. Oren maybe? No. Mr. Franklin comes in, says his line, we all hide. You say I can't come here anymore. Franklin would fire me if he found out. So I can't. You're hitting your finger on the way down. Can't come here. You could sign it this way. Come, either way. Come here anymore. Take the A hand shape and then go out like this. Anymore. Anymore. Franklin would fire me. Fire is you get your non-dominant hand fist closed, and then this one like you're cutting off the head, basically. Fire me if he found out. The sign for found out. It's kind of weird. Take an F and you're putting it like in the hole of information. I don't know. Here, open, close. Found out. So it has like a bouncing motion. So that whole line is, I can't come here anymore. Franklin would fire me if he found out. Sarah said, who would have told him? Any number of people could have told him. So I wouldn't sign number here. It's not important. So anyone, any number. Well, you'd have to sign people though. Any number of people could have told him. You could maybe just put your hands out like this, like you're showing to everybody. Any number of people could have told him. And you don't have to all the way start down here. I'm kind of exaggerating. It can come from right here. Told or tell. So any number of people could have told him. And the him goes, the finger goes to wherever you put him in space. I put him right here. If y'all are talking and he's over here on stage, then you could go this way. So the number part, just skip. We're just going to do any number of people. And I think we know the sign for people already. Take the K's and move them. It's actually from P, but it's up for the sign. Okay, hi guys, what's new? How are you, Lydia? How are you, Lydia? Whatever we get for her name sign. Oh, I'm fine. Good, good, or thumbs up. Good, good. Sarah says it's time for her lesson. No, she doesn't have a lesson with me today. No, she doesn't have a lesson. So the sign for a lesson is like, this is a piece of paper. This is a list of things. This one, this one, this one, this one. It's a list sign. So no, she doesn't have a lesson with me today. I think we've done today before, but if not, it's the Y's now, and then the sign for day. One finger up like this, day, today. Sarah said, did you tell Franklin something about Mr. Leeds and me? And you can, the sign for yeah, yes, but you could come like, yeah, like, come on, spill the beans, tell me. Or just look at her, yeah. I have to go to handicrafts now, Mr. Leeds. I'll see you tomorrow. Then you say, just a minute. So wait, maybe like, just a minute. What? Wait. Answer. The sign for answer is one on your chin and one down here. They're kind of offset. They're not directly in front of each other. They're kind of offset a little bit. Answer. Sarah, whatever we sign for Sarah. S for now. Sarah's question. I think we've done this before. You're just drawing a question mark in the air and then sending it forward. Question. Did you tell Franklin anything? And then she cuts you off. I'll see you tomorrow. So that part right here, just a minute. Answer Sarah's question. Did you tell Franklin anything? I'm trying to do a little bit faster so you can practice that speed. I'll tell you tomorrow, Sarah says. I see, I told you she'd fall in love with you. And then you say, oh, she's not in love with me. Just put your hand up like, she's not in love with me. I would sign the I love you towards you. Because you're not inside love. Like, this wouldn't make sense. So, oh, she's not in love with me. And the I love you sign towards yourself. Maybe you should climb her window one night. Maybe I should climb her window right now. Oh, you're jealous. So there's 2 different signs for jealous. I sign it this way. So you take your finger, kind of like an L, and you scrunch it, and you put it on the, this is called a commissure, by the way, commissure part of your face, and you twist it. Jealous. Other people sign it with a J, but this is also what I sign for juice, so it's kind of confusing. So we will ask Rebecca, now that we have a Sarah, we will ask her what she's signing for jealous, and we'll just copy that, but it's probably going to be something similar to this. So jealous. For now, we'll do that. Oh, you're jealous of her. She's dumb, big breasts, just what men want, fondle, da da da. So is that really what men want? So she just signed all that. So you're going to sign that towards her sign. So is that what men want? And then you kind of sit back. I'll tell you something. I happen to despise, so we're not going to sign happen. So I despise is take your middle fingers here and you flick it out with hatred. I despise, but it's sarcastic, so it's kind of funny. So you can make it big. I despise large breasts. It's just a classifier. You just touch your chest and you pull them out like this. So, I mean, the formal sign for breast is like this. You touch one, touch the other. But just showing it grotesquely with your face would make this part funny. So you couldn't even give me a pair. So if you have them here like this, I would just sign, instead of give me a pair, it doesn't really make sense. I would just like thumbs down it. Like, you couldn't even give me a pair. Like, I don't want that. Then if you, talking to Sarah, had large breasts, I wouldn't, sign for don't, I wouldn't be sitting here, sign for sit. So you can have it this, you can kind of hang your feet off like you're sitting on a bench. I wouldn't be sitting here having this ridiculous, and so she cuts you off here. I'm guessing it's ridiculous conversation. So I would just sign this back and forth. It's like the sign for like dialogue, discourse. So it's like, I have something to offer, you have something to offer. We're going back and forth. That's the concept of what this is. So I wouldn't be sitting here having this ridiculous, and you can start to sign ridiculous, which would be the Y hand shape on your nose like this, and it just shakes. Ridiculous. It's also a sign for silly, but like ridiculous, whatever you're about to. And so have this motion ready for her to interrupt you for, basically. So all that together, is that what men want? I'll tell you something. I happen to despise large breasts. You couldn't even, I didn't sign that. You couldn't even give me a pair. I guess we can sign that. It's up to you. I'll let you decide. So you can sign, you couldn't even give me, it's time for give me a pair, or you can just sign large breast and then you couldn't even give me a pair, like, ugh, thumbs down. Those are your options. At this point, you've got enough language that you can kind of play with how your character would do it. So I'll tell you something. I happen to despise large breasts. You couldn't even give me a pair. If you had large breasts, I wouldn't be sitting here having this ridiculous, and then she starts to interrupt. So just one thing to keep in mind about the whole boob thing, as long as you can't just start like this, like you have to have them come from here, because this is the motion of this is where they're at, and then this is what classifies them. So this in itself is not a real sign. It's just showing how large they are. You could have them way out here. You can make it as silly and as goofy as you want. But just know that you need to like touch your chest first and then have them come out. Or you can have them juggle them like this, like whatever you think would be funny for this one. It's a classifier, so it has room for interpretation. So there's that. You can play with it. Sarah says pimples. You say those are not pimples. So kind of look at her face, maybe, and then point like those are not pimples, or like this is a classifier. Again, there's not a real sign for pimples. It's just like little bumps. So, or you could do them like this, little bumps this way. So however she shows them to you, like if she has them centered right here or whatever, if she's just like pimples, then you could kind of look and like, those are not pimples. So that'll be a little bit more give and take with your scene partner once we realize where she's showing all of these things on her body, because they're not real signs. Those are perfectly charming, more adequate. So yeah, just talking about those, just point to her face. Those are perfectly charming. I would sign like beautiful, beautiful. So I'm taking my open hand and I'm moving it across my face and closing it as I go. So this is the hand motion right here. Beautiful. Those are perfectly charming, because there's not a sign for charming. That's why I'm doing that. More than adequate. More than, the sign for than, you just hit. Again, you hit your fingers. I don't know why. More than Adequate, I'm going to sign enough. So this one, you take it here and you push it forward like you're topping off like a jar of Crisco. I don't know, whatever you would smooth off, like enough. That's the top of it. So where are we at? More than adequate. And then you could do Jesus Christ again, or you could skip that sign because there's, I don't know how you really curse with that in sign because it's the sign for Jesus, like his hands and the holes in his hands, and then Christ is like royal. So you could do it provocatively. I don't know the right word for that. Or you can like Jesus Christ. You can throw it like that, or you can just throw up your hands like Jesus Christ. You are human. So you can choose to speak that word. It's up to you. And then just point you, and then human is with an H. You start on your shoulders and you go down to your hips. I'm sitting down, you can't see that far. So human. Being does not have a sign, so it's just you are human. And let's see. Oh, that's the end of that sign, or that section. Okay, let me know if you have questions. Bye.